Hello, everybody. Hello, Gravitron. Hello, everybody. Hello, Gravitrons. I'm more gravity. Let's play chess. So I won this game just about 3 minutes ago, and I'm glad to see that it was a really accurate game, and that there was even a brilliant move involved, and I'm so glad for that. It makes me feel good, especially since I got off to such a horrible start, losing more games than I wish to mention. Let's say. Okay, so anyway, this game in particular was not a bad game for More Gravity. Uh, and here we go. Let's take a look. I had the white pieces. I played e4, e5, c4 is this tricky way to get to the English opening, and my opponent plays knight c6 after knight c3. Um, the computer gives black an edge here, but I rather like that the pawn is on c4 ahead of the knight that was once on b1 and is now on c3. I think this is just like the slightest of advantages, but it can be kind of cool in helping to control the center. So rock on for that. And then knight f6 is I don't the inaccuracy here. I don't think so. It's not an inaccuracy. The knight is developing. He's sitting at he's attacking at e4, which is protected, but that knight's got to be developed. So I don't think that's all that much of an inaccuracy. Just disagreeing with the computer here for a minute. Knight f3, and we see the idea. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 pawn. The four knights opening, right? But why is it black to move? And white has played c2 to c4 through the c3 knight? Something wrong here. In my opinion, this is an improvement from white beyond the four knights opening. Crazy, right? You wouldn't have thought it to come out of the English opening with move 2c4, because usually the English opening is to move 1c4. But yeah, this is a little bit of an improvement from white in the four knights opening. He said, well, how could you possibly? I mean, four knights opening is super old, super solid. We know all these things. It's because maybe it's because two things. First of all, maybe black having the move is a bigger deal than we think. And second of all, maybe there were parts along the way where black could have played better. If there might be just strictly better moves involved, and maybe this is why the computer points to knight f6 as an inaccuracy. Here we're in move 3 with black to move. How about bishop c5 is active? Bishop e7 is timid but prophylactic. If you want to get a little bit crazy, you can play bishop b4 and be attacking white's c3 knight and threatening to double pawns on the c file. Although that comes with its own trickiness. All right. So we got to this four knights improvement, and yeah, here black plays a strong move, bishop c5, just a good developing move to the central squares, and white says, I know a book sacrifice here that can be played with knight takes e5, knight takes e5, d4, forking the two minor pieces, but white is not sacrificing a knight, but rather going to recoup that knight. And here with white to move, white's doing well. Better control of the center in terms of occupying. Better control of the center in terms of occupying. The queen's under attack, but she can move to someplace useful like d3. I think I made the move d3, and it's fine. And then the evaluating engine agrees. I don't know that it's all the way to the tune of 1.4 pawns of having if white has an advantage, really worth as much as a pawn and a half. But it's a bit of an advantage. So, queen to d3 is a good square where she's nice and safe here. I mean, in order to rattle these rabble rousers need to attack by way of knight b4 or knight e5, which just makes the queen move to an even more active square like g3, where after castling, white might be threatening something like bishop to h6 and even checkmate on g7. It won't come to that. Black will play g6, but there's still cases where bishop will capture a rook on f8. So, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but this is to show a thematic idea. Black's attacks against the queen here might be a little bit strained. And if not, then if knight b4 is warranted, queen b1 is not bad, right? She's the queen. She can find ways out of this kind of corner, these four squares in the corner. So anyway, I think just the overall idea is if black wants to attack white's queen here as a theme, black will have to overextend herself or thyself. All right, pawn to d6. The pin. This is a good one. Bishop g5. This is a good pin. And black, I think, wisely chooses to put the question to the g5 bishop. What are your intentions? Are you going to just capture and allow me to develop my queen to a great square for no cost at all? Are you going to back up to h4 and allow expansion on the king side, which probably is the best move, given that it's still likely that black will kingside castle, that is. What did I choose? I chose to exchange on f6. My idea being, I had experienced a ton of losses, and it's clear that today I'm not calculating well. I'm missing obvious visual things and not calculating well. I've had difficulty putting myself into sustained attention. So, I'm playing towards strengths. I'll capture on f6, and there might come some kind of dull or boring endgame, and I'm good at those. So queen takes f6. We get this shot in initiative against the queen on f6. I thought black should capture on b2 here. Allow the check, put pressure on the piece that's about to capture on a8, and keep the knight trapped for a while. And I think black ends up having a little bit of initiative out of that, enough so that it will make it difficult for white to prevent queen takes a1. That's what I thought during the game. I was expecting queen takes b2. We see here there's a strong, a wild exchange of pieces is probably not what's happening. I'm guessing that from the evaluation bar here. Indicates a more, normal advantage. Let's check the analysis window. Yes, the analysis window doesn't. Okay, the second best move is queen takes b2. The best move is a lot better though. Queen d8. Queen takes b2 is indicated that actually white shimmies out of this way ahead. So I'll display this line here. It's queen b2, rook b1, queen takes a2, knight takes c7, king e7, and that's for all those. If you want to go like in real depth, go ahead and do that. You see the second best line, which is a failing line for black, but my opponent found the best move, and the only good move for black here, which was queen to d8, protecting against the fork that could occur on c7 with knight takes c7 check. Knight takes c7 check. Knight takes c7 check. Knight takes c7 check. Boom, boom. Knight takes c7 check. Knight takes c7 check. Boom, boom, boom. Knight takes c7 check. All right, now knight to e7 is a good move. The idea is this knight on d5 is extremely strong. Black wants to take action immediately against this knight outpost. I agree with that. It's you know, consider the alternatives, but most often your uh, uh, objective is to take action immediately against a strong outpost like the knight on d5. And black does this twofold. One, to challenge it with his, her, they own knight, and another, that the move c6 can kick the knight away as well. So this white does not have a lasting advantage on d5. Anyway, so getting on with things, castles. Not a bad time to castle kingside here. The castle's kingside. Most of these choices for white here, I mean, the difference between the top choice and the fifth choice is like 4/10 of a pawn or 0.42 of a pawn. Okay, so it's more like a position where there are a lot of choices, formulate a plan, and play consistently with that plan. My plan here has been pretty much since offering the queen trade and some other moves earlier on to play for superior technique in an endgame. So kingside castles definitely goes with that. Alright, let's go back to the review. Knight takes d5, e takes d5. Usually we're going to capture towards the center. But I thought, well, we'll just kind of, again, with the idea of playing for an equal endgame where I know great technique. E takes d5, plays for my strengths. This is going to make black castle. Best move or not, this will make black castle because black doesn't want to deal with rook e1 and then discovered checks, you know, the queen streaming in. No, so black knows he's got a castle. So castle ahead of time, and we're, like I said, these castles, these kingside castles, they're gonna direct the game towards a very technical and probably very equal end game. It doesn't. I mean, we can see down farther on the move bar. It doesn't get to that, but that was the goal, and winning along the way is just fine with me. Rook e1, rook e8. Yeah, g6 looks like just a really awesome kick the bishop out of the way move. Not even all that awesome, just sort of straightforward, no problem. And after some time, how much move did I spend on this? How much time did I don't know. After 7 seconds, I decided I can sacrifice on g6 and have a really strong attack. I think dumping the rook on e1 is from black's perspective is fine, not amazing, and not catastrophic, of course. Except now that white still has the attack whether the rook is white still has the attack whether rooks are exchanged on e1 or not. The attack is still there. We have this. F takes g6. The queen follows up is definitely best because, look, black's going to have difficulty. I mean, first of all, just this, right? That's already difficulty. But if anything more than that, to play to f8 makes a lot of sense. And then we show, as in the game, how white can make it so that black has to move his king out of the way. The rook on e1 will prevent the king from ever coming to the e file here. And that's going to make skewers and forks likely for my queen against black's queen. Even Sol's calculation here, right? Sol's calculation here, even just this, right? This is already difficult. So, king to f8. Queen takes h6 check. All right, this would be a position where naturally black wants to move to e8 and then d7 or something, or e8, get the bishop out safely and then to d7. But it's not there. The board is more or less cordoned off by White's e1 rook. Alright, so some of these are just best moves that don't have good alternatives, and the skewer queen to h4 check will make short work of the game. Wow, what a fun, great game to play. My opponent played well. My opponent played a strong game. Looked like the turning point was this move g6. This is not a move you usually look at and say, that's the worst blunder of the game. No. So it's kind of a surprise, but I was glad also on my half of things to have found the correct brilliant move. Bishop takes g6. And then some fancy footwork with the queen at the end there. All right. Thank you for watching. I think it's like this. Wait, no, it's not like this. I'm trying to. I'll look it up, guys. I'll look it up. It's thank you in American Sign Language. So thank you for watching. Thank you, Gravitrons. I'm More Gravity. Have a great night.